Hi, everybody. So, today I wanted to talk about the highs and the lows in, on the spiritual journey. So, I have just come out of a 1 month low period, and during before I got into the low period, things were going pretty good. I felt like I was advancing, I was doing things, I had a routine I was following, and life seemed good, it seemed busy, it seemed occupied. And then suddenly one day the low hit, and and it made me feel like um, as if I have gone backwards in my progress, and everything that I had learned and I was being up until then, uh, it just felt like as if I wasn't being true to myself. I wasn't being authentic because uh, this low part suddenly made me realize how many things um, they were yet to heal within me, things that I felt I have already healed, I have already dealt with them, and suddenly I was feeling like I had gone backwards in my journey, and so it it scared me to a point where it made me really, really depressed. I was wondering how to help myself out of the situation. I was wondering who I could talk to gain insight on what was happening. I was unable to come up with answers on my own during my own um, thinking time or shadow work time, and nothing was speaking to me, like absolutely nothing. Everything was quiet, everything was blank. Uh, at one point, I was feeling like maybe I should give up because I've I've done so much. I thought I came so far, and now I feel like I'm back in square one, and I don't know how to deal with square one right now because apparently everything that I did not work, and now I don't know what else is there for me to do. So, needless to say, I was pretty depressed. I wasn't meditating. They say these are the days where you need to meditate the most, but I wasn't meditating. I had no energy for it, so there was guilt for not meditating. I wasn't working out because I had no energy for that as well, so there was guilt for not working out. I wasn't doing my routine, all the things that I do in the day to keep myself busy. So there was the guilt for not doing all of those things as well. And so I was guilty for a lot of things that I wasn't doing. I was upset that I am moving backwards in my journey. I tried to remember that generally when we have these low points, it is because our mind and our body is trying to reset, and it is trying to recreate. I tried very hard to remember that this is what is happening, and I shouldn't give in to all of these feelings, but I couldn't help feel them, and I couldn't help going along with them to the point of letting myself go and literally doing nothing but lying down the entire, not even sleeping. Like I couldn't even sleep because I had this constant guilt feeling in me. So if I wanted to sleep, I was feeling like I shouldn't be sleeping, I should be doing something. But so I couldn't sleep, but I couldn't do anything also because I didn't have the energy for it. So honestly, I like giving up the spiritual journey was one of the thoughts, along with wanting to end everything, because I was really upset, really disappointed in myself, and I wasn't seeing any progress in what I was doing. I wasn't So nothing was moving that could even motivate me or make me feel even slightly better about myself, so that I could at least try and push myself towards coming out of this. So I decided to rest in that moment. Every day I would say, every day I woke up in the morning and I thanked the divine for getting me through one more day, and thanking him for making me see today, and hoping that the gratitude might lessen the extent of this low period. Not sure if it did because it did last for a month, but uh, yeah. So so eventually it did end, and when it ended is when I so during this period I didn't have the energy to do any of my tarot card readings also. And I was another thing to give me guilt trip, like major guilt trip. And so I woke up one day and I had a little more energy than I did the previous day. So I thought of forcing myself into doing something. I wasn't touching my cards, not for myself and not for the collective also. At one point, like I must have done, like in the beginning I did do readings for myself, but even that stopped because I couldn't understand the messages coming from the cards. The messages were the same, obviously because the energy was stuck. So the messages were same, and I was so frustrated with receiving the same kind of messages. I didn't want to look at any of the card readings. And so this one day I woke up and I thought that I should just make, instead of doing regular card readings on Instagram like the way I was doing them, I thought of making them into YouTube videos. This is something that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. It kind of was like a goal in my head, the very first thing that I wanted to do, but I didn't have the courage to do it. So I started with readings on Instagram where I would type out the messages because I was so afraid to sit in front of the camera and do these kind of card readings. And so one day when I was trying to push myself out of this period, I just got an idea that I wanted to do something. I wanted to do something different that would force me out, like motivate me to come out of what I was feeling and do something. So I decided to finally sit down and make the YouTube video, and I did. And at first it started with me talking about my spiritual journey, and then it finally went into tarot card readings. And I was so excited about the fact that this was my initial plan, this was my initial goal, but I never had the courage to do it. And this 1 month of low period, whatever it did to me, pushed me to finally achieve that goal, to finally decide to make that move and actually go forward and do it. So now sitting here and making this video, I realize that these low periods are so you have a certain realization, and you've reached a certain height in your journey, and so you're doing things accordingly. And finally, when you've learned it or mastered it, it's time to move into something new. And so the energy like literally drops and it shakes things up, where and then it merges into it, and then the new energy just emerges out of you, right? So it's like a it's like the calm before the step up. This is the reprogramming before the step up that happens in life. So for me, this was up until now, I knew it as a idea that generally the low times are when we are body is regenerating or reprocessing all of the things and everything. But this time I really saw it happen with my own energy. And so I wanted to make this video to let you know that if you are in this period, if you are stuck, It is because it's an upgrade to you, provided you are willing to see what is. I do not want to use the term broken, but for lack of better word, I'll use the word broken. So it's for you to see what is broken and to fix it, or to decide, at least to decide to fix it, because the moment you decide, the energy just takes over the body, and it brings out, it pushes you to bring that action out into the physical. So I hope this video helps. I hope it relates to somebody. Thank you for watching, and love and light.